Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to more WWE 2k16 Universe Mode. My name is BrendenPlayz. We're back here again with this week's main event and SmackDown, as we are currently 2 weeks away from the Payback Pay-Per-View, and this week we find out a couple more matches to do with Payback. So we have Zack Ryder comes up against Bad News Barrett to open up main event. Christian goes one-on-one with Luke Harper as well, and the Inspirational Express against the Usos to close out this week's main event. So we're going to check out the results quite quickly here as Bad News Barrett picks up the win. Christian also gets a win over Harper as well. Big victory for him there. And in our main event, it is the Usos again. They keep on winning, but unfortunately they're out of the title picture. We'll go check out our SmackDown show for this week. So we have The Miz and Mizdow teaming up with Jack Swagger to take on the New Day. So we'll see how that team fares. Obviously, the New Day and The Miz and Mizdow have been quite successful as tag teams in the past. Devon Dudley goes one-on-one against Eric Rowan. Triple threat matchup here against Neville, Kalisto, and Stardust. And the winner of this one will get a matchup against Bray Wyatt next week for the Intercontinental Championship. Obviously, Bray Wyatt does not have a scheduled match at Payback, but he will have to defend it next week. Sasha Banks beat Tamina in a one-on-one matchup, but how will she fare in a two-on-one handicap matchup as Naomi teams up with Tamina? Tag team action between Cena and Bryan, who team up to take on the Big Show and World Champion Kevin Owens. In our main event, this is the big one, ladies and gentlemen. Sheamus versus Randy Orton one-on-one, with the winner facing Kevin Owens at Payback. We saw last week Randy Orton defeated John Cena one-on-one to earn this opportunity. We'll see how he fares later on as Swagger and The Miz and Mizdow pick up the win. The Dudley boys, they win again. It's a victory over Rowan, and the Wyatt family not having a good night at all. Sasha Banks wins her handicap matchup to find the odds a little bit there as Kevin Owens defeats John Cena and Daniel Bryan after teaming up with the Big Show. And now we get ready for our opening contest here for tonight's show. It is going to be a triple threat matchup. Neville, he will be coming up against the informed Stardust, and I guess you could say the wild card of Kalisto, a man who hasn't exactly appeared too much in singles action. We'll talk more about that in a moment, as Neville has been pretty impressive since coming to SmackDown after the draft, and he's been working very, very hard to try and get his spot at the top. And obviously Bray Wyatt has been one man he's had his eyes on for quite some time now, so Neville has a big opportunity. Last time he was almost there. He had one more hurdle to overcome. It was Christian. On that occasion, Christian did pick up the victory, but Neville tonight has his chance for a little bit of redemption and to hit back with a victory here tonight to finally get his title shot against Bray Wyatt. And obviously Bray Wyatt will not have a matchup at Payback. He's going to be involved in managerial duties. Obviously Braun Strowman making his debut against Christian one-on-one, and obviously the Wyatt family challenging for the tag team gold as well. So our IC champion will have the night off, but I suppose if he loses next week, perhaps he'll want to have a rematch at Payback. We'll find out, as here comes Kalisto, and certainly Kalisto will be looking for a big showing here tonight. And the reason why he's in this matchup is because he went and asked SmackDown General Manager Edge for an opportunity. He wanted a matchup here tonight, but he said, look, there's an opportunity to be in this #1 contenders match. Instead of a one-on-one matchup between Stardust and Neville, why not make it a triple threat and give me a shot? Because he believes that he's good enough to make an impact as a single star here on SmackDown. So this is his chance. I guess this is his trial, I suppose you could say, as Stardust now coming out, the creepy but yet very, very successful Stardust in recent times. He himself has ventured out from the tag team of Golden Stardust, moving along into the singles division here on SmackDown, and he's also had quite a bit of success. He's been picking up some victories, but he's been flying under the radar. Not many people have been noticing too much of Stardust, but certainly he has been impressing. And now this is his opportunity here tonight. I guess Neville and Stardust are the two men next in line, whereas Kalisto has a lot to prove here tonight. And he's been very lucky to be in this matchup, but he's been given a chance, been given an opportunity to show us what he can do as a single star. Obviously, teaming up with Sin Cara as the Lucha Dragons in recent times, but obviously has not had much success in that tag team, and obviously a little bit to prove there himself. And tonight, an opportunity to show us what he's made of as single star. Obviously, you go back to Monday Night Raw as well. Cesaro and Tyson Kidd in a similar situation. Both guys haven't had much success in the last couple months as a tag team, and they're looking to show what they can do as a singles competitor rather than looking at the tag team division. Now, I'm not saying that Kalisto or even Cesaro and Kid, for that matter, are broken up as a team. But mind you, Stardust and Goldust, I don't think are broken up as a team either. I think these guys just want to see what they can do. They see an opening here on SmackDown, and I think the opening is this Intercontinental Championship. There's not many guys really going after the championship right now, so a guy like Neville and a guy like Stardust and now Kalisto, these guys have an opportunity. They have a chance to really break through a division that's not really, floundering with too much talent here. So this is a big chance for someone to step up and I suppose make a name for themselves. Here on SmackDown, as Neville with a Hurricane Rana takes down Kalisto. Stardust is watching on and hits the dropkick there on Neville. To me, Neville, I think, is the favorite to win this one. He's had a lot of success, but he's been very, very close, just one win away from becoming the next #1 contender. Tonight, this is his chance, but obviously Stardust as well. I didn't really believe much in Stardust. I didn't really see Stardust as a top competitor here. I didn't really think he would have much success as a singles, but he's really shown us that he is very capable of doing so. And now we get a first-hand look to see how good he truly is here tonight in this one as he takes down Kalisto. So next week, the winner of this one will face Bray Wyatt next week and on Thursday Night Smackdown. And Bray Wyatt has been quite impressive in the last couple of months himself. It just feels like the Wyatt family are coming back to their own and are really on the verge of controlling SmackDown once again, just like they did at one point last year. They've obviously lost their stranglehold. Well, both men flying off the top. Kalisto, he went over the top rope, and Stardust went off the top rope. Well, there you go. Everyone's flying around in this one. And Kalisto, he was setting up for something there as well, but Stardust didn't let it happen. And Stardust, I don't know what the hell happened there, but he's on his back looking up at the lights. So the winner of this one will face Bray Wyatt. And I think they're going to be really in for a huge match. I don't really believe that the winner of this one has their work cut out for them. I just get the feeling that if you're going to face Bray Wyatt, you're not just going to face him, you're going to be facing that entire Wyatt family. And what a challenge that will be. I'm not sure if they are capable of knocking off Bray. And that is going to be very difficult to do because considering that the Wyatt family are working very cohesively as a unit right now. Let's say Kalisto wins this one. And Kalisto next week, not only is he going to be fighting the Wyatts, he's going to be fighting Bray Wyatt, potentially Rowan and Harper, and even Strowman. 4 monsters potentially at once, trying to, outsmart these guys. It's not going to be easy to do as, well, hang on a second, Kalisto has a steel chair involved. No DQ, of course. Neville blocks the attempt and shrugs off Kalisto. I think the steel chair has been dropped, and I wouldn't want to see too much of that happening. I want to see a fair fight between these 3 men, and obviously Stardust, I wouldn't put it beyond him to try and look for some little sneaky way of gaining an advantage in this one, but Kalisto, a little surprising he's gone for the steel chair, but I guess that's desperation for you. This guy, he's wanting to prove that he can hang with Stardust and Neville, and that he's good enough to be a part of the singles division here on SmackDown. And obviously, if Kalisto wins but does not beat Bray Wyatt, he's going to get more opportunities in the future. Edge, our SmackDown GM, will certainly be put on notice, and that's exactly what Kalisto wants. A good performance in this one will certainly give Edge a bit of a kick up the butt, I suppose, to try and give Kalisto a few more opportunities here on SmackDown. As Kalisto kicking away right now. Speaking of kicking ass, here comes Kalisto with a few big kicks to Neville and Stardust. And all 3 men are just throwing everything. Elbows, right hands, right kicks. And here comes Kalisto. What about that? Hurricane Rana spins around Stardust and takes him down. Neville watches on. And the referee sliding outside the ring. What's going on there? I mean, is he going for the pinfall outside the ring? I don't know. I think the referee was thinking about counting to 3 as well. I'm not sure. I mean, hey, the referees here on SmackDown, I don't know what to think of these guys anymore. A couple of weeks ago, it was the whole triple threat controversy there. We could be seeing it again here tonight. It seems as though the referees, I don't know, I mean, they're on someone's payroll. They're just ridiculous at the moment. I mean, do these guys have any training? Where are we getting these guys from? Because they are just absolutely awful. Anyways, Neville right now has a hold of Stardust, picks him back up, puts him into the ringside apron, and in the barricade, I should say, as Stardust now turns his attention to Kalisto. Probably a bad idea because he's getting kicked. And oh, he tried to launch Stardust, but instead Neville got involved and Kalisto took a heavy fall. And now Neville behind on Stardust. So everyone just kind of trying to get anything, any offense in at all. Just trying to really just throw each other around, punch, kick, anything. And it's Kalisto now looking for a suplex, and he connects. And a very nice move there by Kalisto, connects nicely as Stardust trying to get back to his feet using the ropes to try and do so. As now this matchup looks as though it's going to be back in the ring. Stardust thought it was going back outside, so he went outside. But he made the mistake. Now he's got a hold of Kalisto, and he might be making Kalisto make a mistake. But no, instead, Kalisto, oh, almost launched over the top, but just manages to hang on. And now Stardust, what's he thinking about? Looking at Neville, turns his attention to Kalisto, and he'll pay for it. Kalisto thought he was going to fly, not yet though. As another right hand now turns his attention to Neville. Here we go. Oh, a boot there. I thought he was going to go for the 3 count. Instead, he rolled through, hit the kick, and Neville is down. Stardust wants to take advantage of Neville being down. And I thought we might be seeing a bit of double teaming there, but instead Kalisto just trying to break that situation up. And now, oh, here we go. Double DDT. Double DDT to Neville. Stardust and Kalisto, we thought the double team was coming. This time it did. And it's worked wonders as Neville is currently down. Could potentially be out as Stardust picks Neville back up. And now Stardust. Oh! Stardust with the Queen's crossbow. Is that going to be enough to put Neville away? One arm on the chest of Neville, and Kalisto right there. Obviously triple threat rules, triple threat situations. Kalisto's always going to be there to break that up and make sure that this match continues. Now Stardust takes him down as a little bit of revenge. Stardust now keeps his attack going on Kalisto, who does evade. Now Neville after Stardust. Look out! Powerbomb! Sit down powerbomb! And Neville can't get the win though, as Kalisto is there again. So Kalisto, bit of an annoying nuisance right now, as he gets slammed down there by Neville. So Kalisto is just kind of hanging around, and whenever Stardust and Neville trying to win this one, Kalisto's there to keep it alive. But Kalisto, he needs to try and mount some offense in on his own to try and get the win. As now Neville, he's going to look towards the top rope. Are we going to see it? Are we going to see the red arrow or something or other? Decided against it. Both Stardust and Kalisto are getting back to their feet. Perhaps the wise move, the wise decision here by Neville. Instead, Kalisto into the corner. Stardust and Neville. Who's going to get there first? It's going to be Neville, but instead it's going to be Neville on Stardust rather than Kalisto. And now Kalisto hooks the leg, looking to win this matchup as Neville will power out at 2. Not a bad idea by Kalisto. Hasn't really had many chances to get the win here, but he's trying to take it when he has any kind of window of opportunity. As now Neville has Kalisto up, but this time Kalisto counters, and Neville's going to be launched into the corner. Stardust wants a piece of Kalisto. Here we go. Stardust picks him up, slams him down. But couldn't keep the shoulders down, didn't go for the 3 count instead. He won't even get the opportunity as, well, Neville's straight after it. And now Neville, he might be in some trouble. DDT! Kalisto trying to get back to his feet. Stardust going after him now. He's going to go for a big slam, takes down Kalisto, suplexes him down. An opportunity to win the match right now, but he gets taken down, swept off his feet, and dragged down. Kalisto, perhaps costing Stardust the win. And he sends him down as well. Neville's trying to get back to his feet. And Kalisto, oh, gets kicked there for his troubles by Stardust, and Neville launches himself at Stardust. All 3 men love to fly around the ring. It's going to be a hard one to call. Really, it's anyone's game right now. I think it's all a matter of who gets the next big move off. As now Kalisto in a bit of trouble. Stardust has him in the corner, and he's hanging down right for the pickings. Neville coming after Stardust. Stardust. Oh, wait a minute. Neville launches himself with a cutter. He launched himself off the ropes and takes down Stardust. The cover. And he's got it. What is Kalisto doing? Kalisto! What were you doing? You had the match right in front of you. And you didn't didn't break it up. Kalisto had a chance to stay in the match and keep it alive, but he makes a crucial mistake, and Neville is our #1 contender for Bray Wyatt's Intercontinental Championship. Oh, geez, it's shades of Sasha Banks at Extreme Rules, where, you know, on that occasion, Sasha Banks was watching on, looking at Naomi as she won the match. This time, Kalisto doing the same for Neville. Here it was. Takes down Stardust. And, well, I guess you can give the assist to Kalisto, who did one little stomp at the end of it. Hey, I won the matchup. It was my move that won it. That last little stomp was the finishing touch, I guess you can say, but it doesn't matter in the end because it's Neville who walks away with the win. And, well, I guess you could say flies away with the win because Neville, he loves to fly. There's no doubt about that. The man that Gravity forgot is the name that he goes by. And now, will Gravity forget about Neville next week? Or will Gravity, that is Bray Wyatt, keep him tied down and away from that Intercontinental Championship? Ladies and gentlemen, your #1 contender is Neville. And speaking of #1 contender, we're about to find out the #1 contender for Kevin Owens' World Heavyweight Championship. Will it be the Celtic Warrior Sheamus or the Apex Predator Randy Orton? We are about to find out tonight, as here comes the Celtic Warrior Sheamus. And Sheamus on a quite an impressive roll as of late. Victories over Daniel Bryan and Brock Lesnar has thrown him into the mix. That is the World Heavyweight Championship. And obviously, Kevin Owens has held that championship since WrestleMania. And many believe Kevin Owens is going to hold that title for a long, long time. But I know Sheamus and Randy Orton will have something to say about that. Both men believe that they are worthy and are good enough to beat Kevin Owens. And we had a bit of an interview with him this week on BrendenPlayz.com, and Randy Orton basically saying that he's going to do whatever it takes. He's sick and tired of waiting for his opportunity. He was frustrated when he didn't get his opportunities on Raw. He was frustrated when he's been left out after pay-per-view after pay-per-view. He has not been on a pay-per-view since the Royal Rumble, and Randy Orton has been very frustrated because of it. And now Orton is going to unleash all that anger here tonight in this matchup. He's going to put all that energy towards winning this match and becoming the next #1 contender. And Randy Orton, a former WWE champion, of course, last year's WrestleMania, he won the WWE Championship on that occasion and successfully defended it at the Payback PPV last year. So Orton, bit of success at Payback, and Orton will definitely be looking towards going back-to-back at that event. And here tonight he has to come up against Sheamus, a former world champion in his own right. Sheamus' title reign less than impressive though, only lasted 5 days, and that was over 2 years ago now. And Sheamus has yet to be a champion in a singles division yet. So Sheamus has a bit of work to do here tonight, a little bit to prove. Orton, he's just wanting to get himself back at the top of the mountain as this one is underway. Orton and Sheamus one-on-one, as now Sheamus, big boot right to the head of Randy Orton to kick this match off. And no better way to start this one. We knew it was going to be a brawl. We knew these two were going to beat the hell out of each other to try and get themselves that #1 contender spot. Both men locking up right now as Orton getting the better of Sheamus so far. Turns him around. Went to grab Sheamus' hands there and toss him down. But instead Sheamus countered back. But Orton does toss him down on this occasion with a side headlock. It is now applied. And the knee into the back of Sheamus as well. So Kevin Owens is watching on. Last week after Randy Orton's victory over John Cena, we saw Kevin Owens come out and I guess send a bit of a signal to Randy Orton, and Orton was celebrating his victory, and Kevin Owens came out to kind of spoil the party a little bit and just remind Orton that even if he does get through Sheamus, he has to get through Owens to get that title. And that is going to be one very, very tough thing to do. Kevin Owens has been mighty, mighty impressive. And some say, like I said earlier, that nobody will be able to beat this guy. And he's going to rule SmackDown for as long as he wants. And I can't blame people for saying that, because Kevin Owens, you look at the guys he's beaten already. He has beaten your Brock Lesnar, he's beaten your John Cena, your Daniel Bryan. He's beaten a lot of the top guys here on SmackDown. And now Randy Orton and Sheamus both looking to become that next top guy. But there's only one guy they have to get through to do it. Perhaps he's the toughest of them all. I mean, if Brock Lesnar couldn't beat Kevin Owens, can really anybody beat the guy? I don't know. So he's already ended the career of CM Punk as well. So Kevin Owens has had a huge impact in such a short period of time. and that's why many believe he is deserving to be the Rookie of the Year and of the Slammy Awards. Or, you know, he's clothesline there by Orton on the fastest rising, the breakout superstar, whatever you want to call it. That's why many believe Kevin Owens is the man for that. As a clothesline there by Sheamus takes down Orton again. And Sheamus is stalking Orton, waiting for him to get back to his feet. But Orton turns around Sheamus, and now here we go. Orton, trying to take Sheamus down, but Sheamus with the counter. And he'll hit the suplex, the vertical suplex there by Sheamus, taking down Randy Orton. And rakes the eyes as well. And that's what Sheamus is all about. He'll play dirty. He'll do whatever he has to do to inflict as much damage to his opponent as possible. Now the cover. And a counter too as Orton does kick out. So early days in this one. And this is going to be a long contest. This is going to be a good one, I think. And Sheamus is going to have to be very, very good to beat Orton on this occasion. As he just picks him up and scoop slams him down. Very comfortable there by Sheamus, who's looking very, very good. And obviously Sheamus, like we said, I just think that victory over Daniel Bryan at Extreme Rules really kind of kicked Sheamus' career off. I think that was the moment where we knew Sheamus was a legitimate top guy, a legitimate star here on SmackDown, the guy who was not to be messed with. That bro kick off the top rope on Bryan at Extreme Rules sealed the deal. On that moment right there, I personally felt that Sheamus was a newborn man. I really believe that Sheamus has all the tools to succeed once again. As just a stiff headbutt there to Randy Orton, who gets taken down this time, does Sheamus. Now the headlock is applied once again. So Sheamus, 2 years without a singles championship, that has to play on your mind for quite a bit. I mean, he won the championship at Money in the Bank 2 years ago by beating the Big Show. That's right, the Big Show 2 years ago. He only held it for 5 days because he lost it 5 days later to the Money in the Bank holder Mark Henry. So Sheamus ever since has not been a champion here in the singles competition. Obviously tag team champion, but a singles champion, no. And Sheamus, I know he's frustrated about that as Orton has Sheamus against the ropes, but gets countered there as Sheamus is continuing the assault here on Orton. But Orton this time counters and sends Sheamus down into the mat. So Orton, it's been quite some time since he's held a title as well. He lost his WWE Championship at SummerSlam, so nearly a year. And now, a backbreaker there by Orton. And Orton, he's had his fair share of opportunities, but ever since the Royal Rumble, he's been in a bit of a drought. Not many chances for Orton to really show us what he can do. I mean, he's had opportunities, but he's failed. Orton has kind of been on the rebuild, and obviously this newfound attitude. We don't know whether to cheer or to boo him. We don't know. We don't really know what to expect from Orton. That's that unpredictability that, in my opinion, could be the turning point for Randy Orton and his career at the moment. And so his right hand's there to Sheamus, and Orton now, he's going to look to try and gain control of this matchup. Another right hand to Sheamus. Tried to kick him in the midsection, and Sheamus tried to counter, but Orton said forget about that. He pushed him away with the boot and hits the clothesline. And now he might be turning his attention to that announce table. Randy Orton, and he's going to try and put Sheamus through it. That's not going to be easy to do for Orton, but hey, if it can work, then it's going to inflict major damage to Sheamus, and that could be a big moment in this matchup. But instead, Sheamus is not going to allow it to happen, and Orton, he's going to try and work his best to make sure it does. Another clothesline. Down goes Sheamus. And now Sheamus back to his feet by the hands of Randy Orton, and he's going to be launched. Oh no, not back in the ring, just off the apron, and Orton has to break the count. Sheamus is in danger of getting counted out here. Has to get back in the ring. And Orton just showboating a little bit. He's pretty happy with the way he's doing so far. And trying to get the crowd behind him, I suppose, as Sheamus doesn't care what the crowd thinks of him, that's for sure. And Sheamus trying to launch himself at Orton. And Orton evades. Instead, Sheamus launches himself across the ring. And he does hit back with a suplex, countering Orton. So a lot of counters between these two so far. And obviously they've had plenty of matches against each other over the years. And they know each other's game inside and out. As now, Orton, he bounces off the top turnbuckle. And Sheamus now, fall away slam to Randy Orton. Sheamus has control of this match. But can he keep control? Can he keep the momentum going? Orton back to his feet. Sheamus now, Sheamus looking for some white noise. And he will connect with it. If he goes for the cover here, this could be it. Sheamus has a chance to win this matchup. He will go for the cover. He wasted a few seconds there. Pretty valuable time wasted. And he'll only get a 2 count because of it. Sheamus frustrated, but he only has himself to blame on that one. Orton back to his feet. Sheamus. I thought Randy Orton was going to hit back with a right hand of his own, but Sheamus did connect with his instead, and Orton was sent down. Another right hand there. So I guess if you're Kevin Owens, who do you want to face? Do you want to face Randy Orton or do you want to face Sheamus? That's the big question. And I don't think Kevin Owens really cares who he faces. And I don't really think there's one particular superstar that's easier, I guess you could say. I mean, Randy Orton's record, you could probably argue that is much more impressive than compared to Sheamus. But I think both men are going to be very tough to beat. As now Randy Orton looking for that DDT, and he connects. Sheamus on the second rope. Orton with the DDT, and this generally leads to the RKO, which generally leads to a victory for Orton. Here comes Randy Orton. He's going to go for it. RKO connects, and Sheamus has been busted open as well. The cover, 2, and no, Sheamus has kicked out. Sheamus kicked out of the RKO. Are you kidding me? And now Orton wants another one. Randy Orton wants to go for a second one. Sheamus in real trouble. Here it is! RKO for the second time. And I think Sheamus had his left hand underneath the bottom rope. And the referee has broken it up. Well, 2 RKOs. And now Sheamus is going to turn it into offense with the high cross. And he connects. Now all of a sudden, after 2 RKOs, Orton's in real trouble. Back and forth. Now Orton trying to get back in it. A couple of clotheslines. This is vintage Randy Orton, as Michael Cole would like to say. I'm still on his line because I don't give a shit. But now it's Orton taking off his feet. And here he comes Sheamus. Just some stiff headbutts there. And why not? Sheamus now looking for some white noise again. Last time it did not lead to the big move that he was wanting to go for. Now, after taking a couple of RKOs, Sheamus has no time to waste. He has to try and win this matchup right now. And speaking of time wasting, I think he did it again, to be honest. And Orton has got that shoulder up at 2. You see the blood coming out of the forehead of Sheamus. It's not pretty, that's for sure. You wouldn't be wanting him on your magazine cover right now, but even without the blood, you wouldn't want him on your magazine covers. Now Sheamus might be looking to put Randy Orton away. This is the move that he was looking for before. He hit the high cross. He might be looking to go for it again. This time Orton counters and grabs the arm and takes down Sheamus. And that might be a massive mistake now. As Orton, what has he got planned? He might be looking for that 3rd RKO. And I guarantee you, if he hits this one, it's over. And he has connected in the middle of the ring. Sheamus in real trouble. Orton gets the 3 count. And Randy Orton is your new #1 contender for the World Heavyweight Championship. What a battle between these two men. 3 RKOs it took. Sheamus almost fought back, but Orton was good enough to counter the high cross. And in the end, it was Randy Orton with the RKO for the 3rd time, putting Sheamus away. It was a brawl, it was a battle, and Sheamus has come out worse for wear, no doubt about that. And Orton will meet Kevin Owens now at the Payback Pay-Per-View. What a victory that was for Randy Orton. And now Orton, well, I guess you could say he is ready. We've seen him slowly build himself up to this point. And now, when it comes payback time, I think Randy Orton will be looking for some payback against Kevin Owens. And there was the RKO. Game over after that. The Viper slithering his way to Sheamus to pick up the win. And hold on a second. Randy Orton trying to get back to his feet after a tough matchup. And guess who? Who else would it be? And this is typical Kevin Owens style. Kevin Owens, he plants down Randy Orton. And of course, Kevin Owens, last week he was too afraid to get in the ring when Orton was ready. Now Orton is not ready for battle. And Kevin Owens is here to strike pop-up powerbomb. Well, that's what Kevin Owens is all about. This is exactly the type of guy that everybody is dealing with. He's cocky, he's arrogant, and he can strike at any time. And he only battles, he only fights when it suits him. Fight Owens, fight. It's a catchphrase in my opinion. It's not the way he lives and dies by. He only fights when he wants to, when it suits him. And tonight, Kevin Owens gets a cheap shot in, just 2 weeks away from Payback. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much again for joining us for another episode of Universe Mode. If you did enjoy it, make sure you leave a like. It'd be great if we hit 7 likes on this video. Make sure you subscribe to see more Universe Mode content coming up from me. Thanks guys for watching. See you next episode. We have our own different flags and oh, wait a second, this is one of our community members over here, and this is what he's doing. His head is through the wall. I don't know what the fuck is going on there.